know, the history books say that there are common characteristics of what makes a great leader. A person with a bedrock of principles. A person with a moral compass. A person with a vision. And a person who has the skills and the experience to put that vision into place. Guess what? We know who we are. We know what we believe. Now we just got to go do it. This man is the epitome of leadership. This man, through everything he's done in his life, raising his family, building successful businesses, saving troubling ones, helping create jobs, knowing firsthand experience that if you have a small business, you did build that small business. Jobs, to increase take-home pay. He knows what entrepreneurs go through when they're suffocated with red tape, uncertain taxes, government regulations. You know what? Remember when we had the Olympics back when it was in Salt Lake? Remember the chaos? Remember the waste, the bloated spending, the corruption that was plaguing the Olympics at that time? Waste, corruption, bloat. Sounds kind of familiar, doesn't it? Who did they turn to? Who did they ask? Prophet his life and save the Olympics on this man right here. A man who, as governor, increased jobs, improved the credit rating of the state, balanced budget without raising taxes, increased family income, all of the opposite of what President Obama's policies have done. President Obama came into office with hope and change. His policies have been put in place. They are not working. They're failing us. He can't run on that. He didn't moderate one bit at all. So now he's turned hope and change into attack and blame, and we're not going to fall for it. The person with the skill, the person with the integrity, the person with the vision, the person that is going to be the next president of the United States is this man, and the next man, his name is Mitt Romney.
Overwhelmed with appreciation. Appreciation that you'd be here today. There are a couple of thousand people standing out in the street. There's an overflow area. I wonder if we're real quiet, if they'll cheer, if we can hear them. Oh, they're out there somewhere. We were just over there saying hi to them. I'm not quite sure. We drove over here. It's absolutely amazing how many people have come together. And I know you may like Paul and me, but what you love, what brought you here is your love of the country. Of your patriotism. This is a patriotic nation. We love America. I'm also appreciative of heroes proved in liberating strife, who more than self their country loved and mercy won in life. Thank you to our veterans. Talking about our veterans, but I want to act up in a different way and say thank you to those who have served this nation. please raise your hand to be recognized. Thank you so much. I'm appreciative also of the fact that this guy right here agreed to become my running mate and become the next Vice President of the United States. I'm appreciative. These two guys are also willing to serve this great state. You know Richard Burr, your senator, Pat McCrory, your next governor. Say hi to these guys. Thank you. These guys are the best. Let me tell you, we got to get them elected in November. Now, the reason I selected this guy to be my running mate is that I knew I wanted a person who was a leader, and he's a leader. His leadership was formed by virtue of strong character. That's where leadership begins. He grew up fast because his dad died when he was in high school, and the family had to come together, pull together. And by virtue of that understanding of the power of family and community, he was able to become an extraordinary leader. He planned on doing something else with his career, but you know, he looked at the country and recognized the real challenges we had and decided to go and try and make a difference. And so he went to Washington not to get along with everybody, but instead to bring some new ideas and to help bring people together on both sides of the aisle. You see, he's someone who recognizes that there are sometimes honest differences between honest people. And he went there to change minds, to find people across the aisle he could work with, and he's done it. He has a plan, for instance, for Medicare, to make sure we can save Medicare. And guess what? He's one of the two co-sponsors. The other is the leading Democrat. He found ways to bring people together to do good things. And so rather than attack people, he'd rather light a candle and bring more light to the situation. Encourage people to find common ground and common principle that they could work together upon. That's the nature of this man. I know that we've got a real long road ahead of us, but this is day 2 on our pathway to reclaim America's promise, and we're going to do it. Now, these are critical times. You know they're critical times. Right here boy, I'll tell you what, North Carolina having unemployment of 9.4%, with the manufacturing sector here in High Point having suffered by virtue of a lot of jobs going overseas, with a record number of people on food stamps, with 1 out of 6 Americans poor, with 23 million Americans out of work or stopped looking for work. These are challenging times. With our budget deficit so huge, it's now $1 trillion plus a year. This is a time that calls not for partisanship, but for leadership, and we will bring it back to this nation. I've got 5 things I know that are going to bring back this economy and create jobs right here. North Carolina, 12 million jobs for the nation. Hundreds of thousands of jobs here in North Carolina. 5 things, let me tell you what they are. Number 1, we're going to take advantage of our energy resources, our gold. We're going to get energy secure in North America within 2 terms. Number 2, we're going to fix our schools and make sure our kids have the skills to succeed. Number 3, we're going to make trade work for America. That means opening up new markets for our goods, but it also means when people cheat, like China's cheated, we're going to hold them accountable. We will not let cheat. Number 4, we're going to do something people have talked about but haven't been willing to do, and that is we're finally going to cut federal spending, cut the deficit, and get it to we're going to champion small business. It's going to be Let me tell you, Melody, you built this business. How many people do you have working here? She has 20 furniture. She makes upholstered furniture, some of the finest furniture. You'll see it in hospitals and healthcare settings that she sells to around the country and around the world. And you know something that Paul Ryan just said, and I happen to know and you know, she built this business, government didn't. America recognized that central to the American experiment was the idea that free people could pursue their dreams as they wish, and that in doing so, they would help lift our entire society. We were not a nation which would have a government and bureaucrats telling us how to live our lives, but instead we could pursue our own course in life. People would take risks and work hard. By virtue of doing so, they succeed in school perhaps, or perhaps instead they'd start a business and be successful there, or get a promotion and help their family with a brighter future. That's been the nature of America. It has not been government action, it has instead been people action. We're a nation based upon free people. That's what makes us free.